told you I found you a perfect match. Chosen by science, but you had to marry them right this second. You would tell me, well, that sounds pretty whack. And I would add, you have 8 weeks to know if you really love them. You just got married at first sight. Jason and Asia gonna tell you wrong from right. Are all these couples just disasters waiting to happen? Imagine if one of them could be a perfect match.
Hello and welcome to A Perfect Match. Surprise. I bet you're excited to see that there is a podcast on your feed. There's a podcast on YouTube. We are here for some post-season coverage. I know we were talking about Married at First Sight season 16 for what felt like 24 months. But right, we are very excited to be here. I'm Aysha, and obviously you see our amazing guest. But before we get to that, I'm here with my podcast host Jason Reed. Jason, how are you?
Aysha, I'm doing fantastic. Yes, we figured, Married at First Sight is not telling us when the next season is coming up, so we had to give you something to tide you over to the next season. And luckily, we found one of the bright spots of Married at First Sight season 16, Jasmine Secrest, to come join us and talk a little bit about the season. Jasmine, how are you? Welcome to the show.
Hi, I'm doing great, guys. I'm happy to be here.
Good.
I was already watching you guys before I was on the show, so.
Oh, wow. Even before you were on the show.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm honored. That's amazing. So yeah, I mean, that's like we to our surprise, we had no idea the whole season you were in our Facebook group. Mm-hmm. And we were like, when decision day came up, you made a little comment. The comments went wild. Everybody was so excited that you were in there.
Just some behind the scenes. It was a post about, I think specifically about Jasmine.
In my decision day dress.
Yeah, your decision day dress. And you commented, and I saw your profile picture. I said, wait a minute, this can't be real. This can't be right. I literally texted Aysha. I said, is this really her? Is this her for real? Aysha did some more sleuthing and digging. She said, yeah, that's really her. I said,
like,
no way.
The Facebook group or the Facebook profile looks legit. Yeah,
I said, no way. I did some more digging. Aysha, of course, is the one that let you in with no password, by the way. So Aysha is responsible for letting you slide by our sensors. Now, it was preseason, I think, probably before we even knew names or whatever. So, yes, you were able to slide under the radar into the Facebook group.
Jasmine, like, I have at least like 4 friends named Jasmine. It's a very common name. So I wasn't thinking, oh, Jasmine, could this be Jasmine from the show?
Mm-hmm.
So
I want to say I joined the group back maybe in November or December. It was before they even announced.
Yeah, I think it was like end of December. So we were like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, we were surprised. Our listeners were surprised. Like it was a surprise for everyone at the same time. So that's a really spectacular thing to happen just in our Facebook group and just to our little community, inside of that group.
Yeah. So you said you had listened before. So how long have you been watching Married at First Sight?
I've been okay, Duchess. Duchess says hello, everybody.
Hey,
goodness. I've been watching Married at First Sight. I won't say since the first season. I have watched all the seasons at this point, but I really, really dug deep into Married at First Sight when my friend Brianna from the Atlanta season was on there. So me and my mom really got into it on that season. And then, seasons follow were pretty good. So but I've now watched almost every season, I think, except 2. But yeah, Brianna made me want to watch and see the process and all of that. So
how did you know Brianna?
Me and Brianna went to school together growing up. So we both were in Memphis. So we met in school. We cheered together. So yeah, we had our little bond. Obviously, like once we went to college, we kind of, it slowed down. A lot of your friendships slow down when you go to college. But when she went on the show, I reached out to her. We reconnected. And then when I started going through the process, I reconnected with her, and so she was like guiding me and helping me, you know, throughout the process. So yeah.
Was she a lifeline like throughout the season, like to kind of go over some issues you were having with Eris through the season? Yeah, I would imagine so.
I'd be like, I just text her, girl, and we'd be on the phone.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really surprised, how MAFS does with their shenanigans, like postseason, that Brianna didn't like show up on you guys as where are they now? She might have been pregnant at that time. I don't know the timeline, so maybe that was a thing.
And we were even going to film with her.
Yeah,
we were even going to film with her, but we just couldn't get schedules online because she wasn't going to travel because she was so far along in her pregnancy, and she was on like bed rest, or she could only do limited things. So we were going to try and film with her and Vincent, but the schedules didn't work out.
Makes total sense. Since you know the show so well, seen every season, what coming into this were you most nervous about, knowing the show, knowing how the show likes to almost twist things and like to show things in different orders? What were you most nervous about coming into the filming of the show?
I think I was most nervous about the edit, because like obviously my friend Brianna, it showed her in every light of her, but everybody doesn't get that lucky. And I also don't know other people beforehand when they're on the show. So I think I was more so worried the most about how am I going to be portrayed.
I would say of everyone on your season, you probably got the most Brianna-like edit. So I think you really did well in that regard.
I think I did get a good edit, but let everybody else tell it. I'm just fake. I'm just fake,
We know no such tales in this house.
It's always so interesting because like me and Jason, we watch the show, we form our opinions, and then we'll see other stuff about the episode after the fact. And so it was just wild seeing people's opinion of like you and Kirsten, and just like I'm like, I'm not getting that. I'm like, obviously we all have different perspectives in life, so we could probably, draw our own conclusions there. But I was just like, I feel like for you specifically, the edit was, it painted this picture of this is the storyline with you and your husband at the time. And I feel like of everyone, you probably got the most positive edit, in my opinion, from watching.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Were there ever times, since you were in the Facebook group, I'm sure there were times you were in the Facebook group and you saw stuff, you're like, let me not say what I want to say.
Have typed and deleted so many times. That has literally been my life the past 7 months since they wanted to air us for so long. I have typed and I have deleted, and I have typed and I have deleted, and sometimes I have typed and posted and been like, I should delete this, but I'm sure somebody has already screenshot it, so oh well.
Yeah. I can even imagine having that level of, especially in the with a show like yours where you're on for one season and just having this block of time where you're one of the most talked about things in your sphere of the internet, how hard that would be to not like respond to every single thing.
And some things I just honestly didn't care about, but sometimes I'll just be like, I know the truth, and I just want to be like, no, like that is so far from the truth, like not even close. Like I don't even know how you got that. Like, but
yeah. So on that note of fan reception, was it? I guess once the show, because obviously you film and then you have this perception, okay, I'm getting ready. It's gonna air. There's probably gonna be people reaching out to me and stuff. Was the fan reception more than what you expected? Or was it like, okay, this is about what I expected?
It was way more. Like, way more. I knew people watched the show, but and like I said, I'm in other Married at First Sight groups. So, they have like 26,000 people in those groups. So I knew people watched the show, but I guess I never in those groups ever really saw them talking about the people the way they were talking about our season. I don't think it's ever been this bad, in my opinion, and maybe just because it's me this time. But I was like, I knew people watched, but yeah, I was very, very taken back, like, dang, like these folks invested.
Yeah, I mentioned on this show before that I'm also in other like Married at First Sight groups just to see what people are talking about. And yeah, the people out there are wild. And like
y'all's Facebook group is very mild.
Very
mild.
Yeah, maybe maybe it's the essence that we radiate, a positive
We try to set the
essence.
tone.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
But I think for the most part, the people in our Facebook group are pretty well behaved. I haven't seen any truly wild things.
I mean, they're pretty tasteful in y'all's group. It's tasteful.
Okay.
Yeah. So I haven't seen any wild things in our group, but out in the other wilds of other groups, I've definitely seen some stuff. If I were you and your castmates, I would be hunting these people down and like finding their address.
I literally talk my
crazy.
family and friends off a ledge
I
every
would imagine.
Wednesday. For the past
Yeah.
7 months, I have talked to my family and friends off the ledge. Like, don't even, like, it's okay. If I'm not pressed, you shouldn't be pressed. It's not that deep. Like, it's fine. It's fine. They're going to say what they want to say regardless. They're going to form their opinion regardless. Like, I could sit here and spit the truth out and somebody don't say I'm lying.
Of course. Yeah. Is it like that with you and the other castmates too? You guys have to talk each other off the ledge as well?
Our girls, the wives group. We I'd be like, y'all, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Somebody gonna screenshot it and you're gonna regret it.
That takes some willpower because 7 months is a long time. And then for you, you feel so far past the experience. So it's just like constantly.
By the time it was done airing, we had been married a year.
Yeah. That is
wild. Well, talking about the extended filming, when you guys came into this, were you guys aware that there would be these? I think you guys did an extra month after the whole process.
Did an extra 3 weeks, yes. So they didn't really tell us that was going to happen in the initial process of going through and being selected and like that process. It was like afterwards, they were like, so we think we're going to do something we've never done before and we're going to da-da-da-da-da. We were all like, oh. Okay, like, so this isn't over. And this was like probably mid-season.
I can only imagine you guys are like probably especially for, let's say, you and Clint and Gina, and you guys are probably just Xing off days on the calendar, like
marking the calendar.
When is this over? And then they come to you and be like, oh, guess
we're
what?
Gonna extend this and do some after decision days.
Yeah, 3 more weeks. You're just like, oh my god, I can't even. If I don't know what you guys' reaction was to like producers and stuff. I would be livid.
Well, I think
if
for
I
the
was you
most part,
guys,
because they said we really get to do whatever we want to do, we were like, okay, cool. Like we got to move out of the apartment, and it wasn't like we were still living together or any of that. It was like your day-to-day life, whatever you want to do. They kind of gave us a little more free reign on the after decision day filming.
That's good. Because I know in past seasons, like the Where Are They Now episode has always felt so, it felt scripted. We know it's not scripted, but it felt like the storyline was guided. And so I did feel that difference in those post-decision day episodes, that it was more natural, it was just watching y'all live. But then we had the feedback like, is something coming? Because like, where are we watching this for?
Right.
But yeah, so yes, we will get more into like where you are today, but let's dive into the actual experiment itself. So, we went through the ringer with you and Eris's relationship, just from beginning to the end. And so what I'm curious about is like, it was very evident that you were very invested. You were in this for the right reasons. You knew what you wanted. It felt like you were like mentally prepared for this. Was there a specific moment? Because you continue to be so optimistic. Because I'm just like, Jasmine, come on, girl.
Wake up.
But yeah, because obviously we're seeing so much that you're not seeing at the time. So was there a specific moment during the marriage that you felt like it is an absolute no on decision day?
I feel like there was a lot of times when me and Eris had our off-camera like conversations. Like it had nothing to do with like being on screen. But I will say the Dr. Pepper visit was a turning point for me. When she came in and like basically told me I had my work cut out for me. Like, here you go, good luck. And I was just like,
oh, you probably heard it on the podcast. We gave Dr. Pepper an earful on the podcast on that one. Like, how could you say that to this woman that you set her up for this? You set the trap for her to come in here, and now you're gonna say, oh, you got your work cut out for you. It's almost like Pastor Cal telling Dom, like, well, I guess you were too young for this. Like, you did this.
Picked her. Yeah.
So that was a turning point for me, not for when I said absolutely no, but it was a point where I was like, okay, I need to pull myself back some, because I came in going hard. Like we're gonna be married, da 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 da. So I think at that point I was like, I need to pump the brakes a little bit and kind of let him guide the marriage. And I was very clear with him that I needed a person that was going to be a leader. And I don't feel like at any point he led the marriage. I feel like he just coasted the whole time. So that was a big issue for me. And then also when we talked about, you know, our religion, he's not really a Christian. He's more spiritual. And I don't feel like spirituality and Christianity are the same. I don't have to go to church every Sunday because I don't, but I need someone who's going to go to the building, to church, and want to do that. My family, like I'm a preacher's kid. And so I never felt like that's something he wanted. And so when we kind of visited that was kind of when I was like, all right, I'm going to continue to like give everything, but if I don't get the other things I need from him, then it's going to be a no for me.
Was that relatively soon where you discovered that he was like not really, about the Christian faith? Was that like soon into the marriage? Yeah. So it was kind of like you're maybe you were trying to find ways like, okay, can something make up for this spiritual thing?
That's where I was at, because I was like, I'm married at this point. So it's like I really didn't want to be divorced, obviously, but it was just like, can there be other things that could help get us in that direction? I was okay with him being spiritual, but I don't know. It was just nothing seemed to line up in a way that it made it seem worth it.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of, you being like a preacher's kid, like we didn't see a lot of your father throughout the process. We saw him a little bit like at the wedding and stuff like that. How was he dealing with that? Even like post-show, watching the episodes back, how did you and your family like talk about or deal with the show at that point?
Well, my dad, he's a preacher, but he is not the type that's like, this is the way, this is the only way, this is the way I see it, and you got to go that way. I will say my dad has done a really good job of letting us make our own mistakes, letting us choose our own paths, and always supporting us and being there to pick us up when we fall. So literally the biggest thing for me was at the end of this, like every show when we would watch it, he would just look at me and say, I'm so proud of you. Like, I would be like, okay, whatever. I don't care what happens. At this point, he told me he was proud of me. He was proud of the way I carried myself on the show, and whether I'm getting a divorce or not, I needed the experience. And so he's great. Like, my dad has been A1 in this experiment. And I also, even though I know he was just on the wedding, that was kind of like my decision when I felt and saw that the marriage wasn't going anywhere. I was like, I'm not putting my daddy through. And what's the point of my dad and him filming? We're not going to be together. Like, he already done been through enough. He done walked me down the aisle, and it's not going to work. So I was like, I'm not going to. He was willing to do whatever, but I was like, nah, Dad, like, I'm straight. Like, you're not filming. If they ask you to film, it's a no, because this is not my long term. Like, this is not.
I like that you like to spare the people. I like that you like to spare the people in your life, the headaches and heartache of this public life.
Bad enough. Yeah. After I realized what my reality was, I was like, nah, we ain't doing that.
Yeah.
I like that. That makes a lot of sense.
Yes, it does, for sure. So I guess speaking on, relatives, we definitely saw early on, it seemed like this was about to be such a heavy part of y'all's storyline. We got to meet Eris's cousin, Felina. So what we want to know is, did you and Felina have any further communication after that brunch that y'all had after the wedding day?
I have not seen or talked to her since the day after the wedding.
Wow.
And I prefer to keep it that way.
Yeah,
she doesn't seem like the type that would see her behavior on screen and reach out and be like, hey, I'm so sorry about that. She doesn't seem like the type. but we will.
And at this point, she can keep that apology, and we can keep moving.
Yeah, we will leave Felina in the past. She has done it over with. We're not even going to talk about the season fall anymore. You're not going to hear anything about that. We're done with that. We just want to check
it's autumn
now. Yeah, it's autumn. It's all about autumn.
Yeah, the way it was edited, it was like, this is about to be y'all's major hurdle, and I'm so glad it just shifted to just y'all, because that would have just been extra stress.
Also, I wouldn't film with her either. So
okay,
y'all want the scene? You can get it with her.
Right.
Did you have them like block her from the reunion? Was it like, I don't want to see her, I don't want to talk to her, like, or I don't know what that even, if she was even invited?
Yeah, they did try.
Okay.
He said no.
Okay.
We didn't need any more.
Come on, it's MAFS. They tried to get her.
Yeah, that's what we figured.
We were so surprised. We're like,
Yeah.
I'm so surprised they didn't try to revisit that. But that
not that we
makes a
didn't
lot
want
of
to see,
sense.
not that we didn't want to see your friend on the reunion. We were like, why didn't they get Felina though? Like, was it Jasmine or was it Felina that decided not to participate in the reunion? But listen,
if he would have been at reunion, I wouldn't have. So
right.
Wow, okay, that answers that question. We can move off of her as a topic from now on. You'll hear no more of her from us on this here interview.
So we know that we've seen a lot of couples on Married at First Sight, and we know how we feel about the experts, right? We know that I think it's a consistent criticism of the show is more expert intervention.
Mhm.
And so how do you feel about the conversations that y'all did get with the experts? Do you feel like it made a difference in y'all's relationship, or even just made a difference in just your own personal growth?
I feel like my time with Devon was very beneficial for me. I actually was able to speak with him after the fact as well. So I feel like my time with him he helped me to see some things, even more of what they showed. Like our interview was way more than what they showed. He just helped me learn and notice a lot of things about myself that I thought wasn't a big deal. I'm like, this happened, no big deal. He's like, no, that's a big deal. And that has affected you. And I'm like, oh, you're right. So I felt like my time with Pastor Devon was very great. And he literally, my producer had his info. I would ask my producer, I'm like, I need you to ask Devon about this. And She'd be like, okay. She'd be on it. She'd talk to him. He would respond. And he was really great for me personally. I don't know. I didn't really talk to him about me and Iris. When I sat with him, he was more so in like uplifting me at the time, because I just like everybody felt sorry for me at that point. So I just feel like he was just pouring into me. So, but as far as like me and Iris' relationship with the experts, I don't really feel like it was much given to us.
How long are those expert meetings? From what we see, it's like 5 to 10 minutes. How long in reality are those meetings?
Oh, they're about an hour and a half.
Okay.
Yeah, they're about an hour and a half. But I will say, I had never had a conversation with the experts other than when we filmed with him.
Okay.
But I mean, you guys do pre-show interviews or no?
Well, yeah.
Experts? Yeah.
Other than those pre-show interviews, after we're married, I think I met with the experts maybe 3 times.
Gotcha.
Wow.
So they're not like, here's Dr. Pepper's number. Give her a call.
Right.
Don't have it.
Yeah. And so there's not even any additional support, even outside of the experts?
I mean, for what it feels like, they almost make the producers your like proto therapist on site.
My
to try and
producer was definitely my therapist.
Yeah, that's what it feels like when we see them on camera.
One.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's very interesting. That's very interesting.
And I even like on the honeymoon, Eris, after we got married, we were on the honeymoon. Eris asked to speak to Pastor Cal, and on multiple occasions throughout the honeymoon, and wasn't able to speak with him. And then finally, I think he was going to be able to speak with him, but they wanted him to do it on camera, and Eris didn't want to talk to him on camera. So
I mean, if it wasn't on camera, they weren't going to do it basically for the production.
I never asked, but the one time he asked, they wanted it on camera.
Wow. So that's interesting insight into like what actually happens on the set and then the production.
And they didn't even know about me reaching out to Pastor Devon. So I'm sure if they do that, it probably would have needed to be. But my producer was just like, she made sure that.
Producer was cool. Did you ever meet Montre?
Oh, Montre was on the same hall as me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's like the head honcho.
I'm pretty sure Montre's apartment was 2 doors down from me. I'm almost sure of it.
Oh, that's like my all-time favorite Married at First Sight moment, season 10, when Mika was like, Montre. That was wild.
No, I
But
love me some Montre. Now
Mhm.
he is the life. I love
he
him.
has locks, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, I've seen a picture of him. I was like, oh, I love his locks. They're beautiful.
Yes, I
Yeah,
love him.
that's our favorite callback on the shows when one of us got out of pocket a Montre.
Yeah. And he breaking of the fourth wall is amazing.
Yeah.
Because y'all are real people, you know?
Yeah.
So we did get to see one, like, I guess, private moment, or we heard about private moment where Eris finally shared with you his issue with what the deal was with what attraction.
Hmm.
So when he shared that with you, how did you feel in the moment? And then how did you feel like it was still hope for y'all after that?
In the moment, I was a little annoyed just because it's just so stupid. But I felt fine because he had shared with me, like, it's not a deal breaker, so whatever. I'm still all in. I'm still here. We can move past it. So to me, it was like, yeah, it was private, but to me, he told me, like, it's not a deal breaker. I'm still here giving my all. So that was
Mm-hmm.
that
Gotcha.
was that.
Yeah,
Because did it feel like he was being more open at that point? So you felt like, okay, maybe there could be something here now that he's opening up?
I didn't feel like he was being more open because I felt like I shouldn't have had to been like, okay, what, like, yo, what's up? Like,
Yeah,
if you was being open with me, whatever it was for you, you would have been like, okay, so this, and this. So I felt like everything I was getting from him, I was always pulling it out of him.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, at this point, we're married. We're here.
Yeah.
Say what you need to say. And let's be done. Like,
besides those like tough moments off camera, what were like, did you guys have fun off camera when things weren't around? Like, what was life like off camera when you guys, it was just you two? Also, like with the other couples, is there any like fun moments or things that we didn't get to see that are really memorable for you between either you and Eris or you and the other couples?
so what people didn't see, and I hate that they didn't see this because people probably would kind of like him a little bit more, which is not so great for me, but whatever. But we literally had a lot of fun together. Me and Eris would go out in Nashville all the time. We both love live music. We would go, my cousin has a band in Nashville. We would go see her live. We would just go find stuff to do. So we went out all the time and had a great time. Like, we had fun together. I cooked all the time. Like, me and him both aren't the best cooks, so we was teaching each other. Like, we was both learning how to cook.
We saw y'all had that Hello Fresh at some point.
HelloFresh, I saw
Did they
it.
ship in that Hello
It
Fresh?
delivered every Monday for the week, and I knew all I had to do was follow instructions. Okay,
Yeah.
that's it. Just follow the instructions.
Mm-hmm.
But no, we had like I feel like our most awkward moments were on camera.
Gotcha. So it was mostly a good time when
It
the
was,
cameras weren't around.
yeah. But like I said, it wasn't like romantic or anything. Like, we had fun, but it wasn't like,
Did that make it? Yeah, did that make it a
you
little
got enough
easier?
alcohol in us, Lex? No.
Yeah.
Did that make it a little easier to stick out the 8 weeks since you guys were having a good time
did.
anyway?
And I know people were like, "Wake up, Jasmine! Like, why are you still there? Like, why don't you want the out?" And it's just like, we're just kicking it at this point. Like,
And y'all are still friends today, right?
Yeah.
See, that's pleasant instead of like leaving with an enemy, like a lot of people have in past seasons. It's nice that y'all are at least, even like more than cordial.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. We're good. We're really good.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. I'll save my hate Eris questions for another time then.
What? No, go ahead.
No.
Because we did get to, like, I think more so early on before we started to really form these opinions about Eris, early on, he seemed so funny in the confessionals, like, especially talking about the other couples. I was like, oh, he's about to be our comedic relief. Like, this is going to be great. But then y'all had y'all's own things y'all were dealing with. So then we kind of saw less and less of that, of just being able to like make fun of what the other couples had going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Were you able to hang out with any of the other couples or singles from the couples? I know you had like you would say in the show that you had different schedules from everybody else, but was there any other times you'd be able to spend with the couples that we didn't get to see?
Well, there was a lot of times like late at night because I had a night schedule, but we would all go up to Nicole and Chris's apartment. And it was like our one time that we would like unplug the cameras
Oh, no.
because they have cameras 24/7. So we
Yeah.
would like unplug the cameras and we would just all rant. Like we just, oh, we hate this and oh, we hate that. And like it would be our moment. We're like, we know in about 10 minutes we're gonna get a text message saying who unplugged the cameras. But we would unplug those cameras and we would go up to Chris and Nicole's apartment and we would have fun, or all the guys would go out. And then all the girls would stay back at the apartment. We would have our little girls' time. They would have their guys' time. So, I mean, we had a lot of little moments where we did get to have fun together. But a lot of the times when they met up, I just wasn't able to.
Gotcha. So currently today, are you still with Friend Boy?
AKA my man. Come on, let's
Yes.
upgrade the name. I'm still mad at myself for saying Friend Boy on the fly. It was literally on the fly. He hates it.
We love it. We love it. I mean, so you're still with Friend Boy.
I'm still with my man.
Okay, that's amazing.
Hoping to transition to husband man at some point. I'm assuming.
Oh, I mean, I am dating to marry, so that is the plan. But I gotta get divorced first because I'm technically still legally married.
Wow, still after all this time.
Well, July is now. Well, July was last month, but we couldn't file until a few weeks after the last episode aired.
Wow,
So that's interesting. So you guys can't even file until the show is over. So I mean, I guess divorces are public, so they can search it if they want.
We're like, what is happening?
Yeah, that's interesting.
So now we're a year. It's been a year.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm still married.
How long?
I was surprised that there was the Where Are They Now episode. I was like, I thought that the 3 episodes.
Yeah,
I thought that
would be enough. I thought it'd be
and
enough.
y'all know we don't know the schedule either.
Mm-hmm.
So every time, even like the MAFS fan account,
yeah,
she would like, me and her were really cool, and she would be like, do you know if there's any episodes? I was like, well, I was waiting on you to tell me. Because you be knowing stuff before I know. Like, what? Like, I don't know. I find out all my information.
You said don't use me as a source. I don't know.
Right.
I have no clue. Like, I don't know.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, I have to mute her during the seasons just to say spoiler free. But yeah, she be having all the info.
Honestly, and I just be like, how she know this?
Right.
And even she doesn't know when season 17 is coming out. So everybody's in the dark.
Yeah.
When she asked me something, I'd be like, I was waiting on you to tell me.
You were the one that knows. So now that we know that you and your man are still together, and then obviously you've had to rewatch relive that experience for the past 7 months while in this new relationship. Well, it's not even new anymore, but in this relationship. So I guess in hindsight, and now that you're in a happy, loving relationship, are there qualities that you have or qualities that you recognize that you really have needed in him that you didn't get with Aries?
So, during the process, Pastor Cal had told me and Aries to read the book Love Language. And so I really realized that my love language is physical touch. Like and I'm not talking about just sex stuff. Like I'm just talking about like I need the person around me. I need a rub. I need a hand hold. I just need to feel like you are all about me.
You need it more than Aris's sporadic hugs. Like every now and then, like, oh hey, we can hug. Like you need it more than that.
Yeah.
Right. So I didn't realize that was something I really needed in a relationship. And so after reading the book, I realized it. And now like in my new relationship, it just be like when it's like you cherish the little things even more now. It's almost good for him that I'm like so appreciative of all the little things now because I went through this whole process where I got none of that. Yeah. But yeah, I am really touchy-feely and I didn't realize that about myself. I need all of that. And I would say one thing that Aries did do that people don't know is I'm obsessed with sunflowers. And Aries bought me flowers every week, had a fresh set sunflowers on the counter every week. And so I love flowers. Like I knew I loved sunflowers, but I didn't realize like, oh my gosh, like to see a fresh set of sunflowers every Monday, like,
yeah,
so it's like those little things. I'm more about the little things than the grand gestures. So
that's really sweet. I wish they would have shown something like that. To at least like, because it really painted the picture that he was out of it, and then
well, not all that was true too.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. All that was true too, but they never
Yeah.
gave him a little bit, you know?
Right. Gotcha. Well, that's really cool to know. And so, speaking of him, this guy in your new relationship, we know that you haven't hard launched him. Do you at least have a soft launch in mind?
Maybe when I'm engaged.
Okay.
Oh, okay. You keep it a secret for a while. Okay.
It's not secret, Jason. It's just private.
I understand. I'm not.
But
Listen,
I will say though, a lot of people have seen him because I've been doing a lot of traveling. Like I was in Houston. Well, he didn't come to Houston, but when I went to Vegas for my birthday, in July, people in Vegas, they are some real MAFS fans. We went to the Usher concert. And literally, I was like, did y'all come to see Usher or did you come to see me? Because literally, I'm in the lobby taking pictures with folks at the Usher concert. And I was just like,
what is this?
So, and he took all the pictures. So people, I'm really shocked that there hasn't been a leak, honestly.
Yeah.
Especially after my Vegas trip. I am so surprised that there hasn't been a leak. But I will say this, people send me and my boyfriend's picture to Eris all the time.
Oh no. That's cruel. That's cruel.
Mm-hmm. They'd be like, and this was also before it was like shown that we were getting a divorce on TV. And he would screenshot and send it to me. He was like, I just got this picture. He was like, are you at such and such right now? And I'd be like, yup. And he was like, yeah, I just got a text message talking about, I see your wife out with this other man.
Oh no. I mean, listen, you and Friend Boy survived an Usher concert, so I guess you guys are the real thing then, because I mean, we can't say that about all relationships.
Those Usher concerts, so
right, Usher didn't try to come, do no crazy.
It must be real.
He's just secure in himself to not have to be intimidated by Usher. That's right. What it is.
He don't care.
So I mean, you and Eris, you went through a lot throughout the season. We saw, and I think it really all kind of culminated in a way on decision day, as you guys both gave your decisions. It was a no for both of you, and then if this season especially, it felt like, especially for like you and Eris, I think for like Clint and Gina too, or like Pastor Cal especially, was trying to was picking at the scab, was like, give me some more. And your kind of reaction to what Eris said when he was talking about you don't love yourself, blah, blah. It was kind of, I don't want to say explosive, but it was, you definitely had some words for Eris. Was that always your plan to come in and share that with him? Or was that based on his reaction and what he said to you?
It was based off his reaction. It was just like, we've talked so much off camera just about different things. And then you tell me how honest you're going to be with me, and we have all these conversations, and you wait till we get on camera on decision day to tell me you feel like I don't have self-love. That it did not rub me the right way at all. All bets were off. I'm just like, I'm gonna clear this up. Right. Like, don't do that. Like, you can have your opinion, but don't try to imply that I don't have self-love.
Yeah, listen, you listen to the podcast. So me and Aysha were right there. We were like, get him, Jeff, get him. So we were right there with you.
Totally off the wall. Like, I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, it made no sense for him to try to come at me like that. Just because I'm not a person to pop off or do all this stuff. I am the person that would take the back seat and hold my feelings in. But that don't mean I don't have self-love. I'm just a little more reserved when I'm not a confrontational person. I'm not the toxic relationship you want. Like, I'm just not that. So because of that, I don't have self-love. Let me check that real quick.
Yeah, we love that.
No.
We love that.
No. We really did. So was there anything else, I guess, when you think of your whole experience on the 8 weeks, even through the reunion, was there anything that you wish people would have seen that wasn't aired?
I wish people would have saw me graduate from school.
Wow, congratulations.
Yeah, I'm an esthetician, and people didn't know that. They,
Mm-hmm.
honed into cheerleading. So they didn't see me graduate from school or any of that, or that I work at a spa. None of that. They just really honed in on all of my cheer stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think. I don't know of anything else that happened. There were a lot of interviews that we did with like our friends and family that didn't show.
Jasmine said, y'all were so focused on Shaq not graduating from school, you didn't show me graduating from school.
Thank you.
Dang,
Okay.
come on now. So, on the Where Are They Now special, we talked about it on the show. We noticed that you were in and out a lot. And it seemed to coincide a lot with Eris, being in and out. Was there any like weird tension with you and Eris that you were trying to avoid him or anything?
We have said really early on, me and Eris have opposite schedules. He works during the day, I work in the evening. So at any point where we weren't there at the same time for Where Are They Now, it's because he was at work during the day, and I was. And at that point, also, I was like, listen, I have taken off from my cheerleaders work too much already. I'm not married at the end of this. This is not working out for me. So you literally gonna get the time I have left.
You said you on my time now.
Yeah.
You on my time now.
I'm the captain now.
So much. No, I'm not about to jump through hoops. No. It was competition week for my athletes as well. So I'm not missing practices. I'll come back afterwards if I feel like it. And yeah, so it was just basically me saying I'm not taking off work anymore. When I'm here, I'm here. When I ain't.
Yeah.
Yep. It was just so weird because I was like, oh, she's weirdly not around Eris a lot.
That was not done on purpose. There's no tension with me and Eris. We are good. It was just our work schedules.
Well, I'm always trying to dig up drama, Jasmine. You know me.
Yeah, Jason brought that up.
You
but I
and
was like,
everybody
what? He watches this show for the drama.
Yeah,
I want at least 3 successful couples. That's what I'd be looking for.
Good luck on that. Good luck on that. I'm always saying I'm 80% drama and 20% love. So that's what I'm all about. That's why I'm here.
Yeah. And I guess on that note, so how has it been with your students or your clients watching the show?
It's been really great. Everybody is like my little, let me see, my little girl, her name's Eleanor. She literally, every practice, we practice on Wednesday nights. So she never was able to see the show until after the fact. So the next Wednesday, like when she saw me, it was always a conversation like, I saw you get married on TV. Are you and your husband staying together? Or he said, did you like when he said this? And I'm just like, this is the last thing. Which is another big reason why I would not talk about sex on camera. And call me fake, whatever. I did not. And I watched the things I said because at the end of the day, after all of this is over, I still have a life.
Exactly.
I still have to have a job. Like, so call me whatever. If it's fake, I'm fake. Okay? Because I decided to watch what I said because I knew that I had people looking up to me, or I knew the girls that I mentored were going to see this, or I knew the motherboard and the deacon board at the church was going to be watching this. So,
I mean, it says something about like us as a society where we're like, you won't tell the nation about your sexual positions. What is wrong with you? Like
no, I'm good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if especially you know, you can ask me later, husband, and I'll tell you.
Right. In that moment where he's like talking about the stuff on your like honeymoon, brunch or whatever, and you were looking at him real wild and crazy, like, was it going to like, can you just wait until like the cameras are off to ask me this stuff? Or like, was there any like production prodding of Eris to ask those questions, or was that just straight classic Eris?
No, that was straight classic Eris. But I will say we were very, very under the influence. So I honestly remember half of that conversation. So when it played back on TV, I was like, oh, literally he was texting me that night. Like, I was like, you remember this conversation? 'Cause I don't.
Oh,
like
the AI done got MAFS, y'all. The AI and the deep fakes, they've come from MAFS. Jasmine Harris never had that conversation.
I was like, I'm not saying it never happened because he talked about sex a lot, but I'm just saying like, I just didn't, and my mom was like, you didn't tell me about this. And I was like, because I don't remember.
Yeah.
I really don't remember him asking me that. Like, I really did not remember that conversation, but it definitely was not a producer or anything. It was just Eris.
Yeah.
At a certain point, did you say to Eris, like off camera, like, can you not ask me this stuff on camera? Obviously, I don't want to answer the questions. Was that ever a conversation between y'all?
I was very clear with Eris and production from the jump. I'm not talking about sex on camera. Like, you want to know? I'm here at 24 hours a day. Like, right. Always here. But I'm not discussing it on camera, which is why I think they highlighted those moments, because they knew it was uncomfortable for me. Like, the never have I ever. I was just like, oh my God. I wish I was drunk at that point. Like, I wish I was not remembering this comment. Like, yeah. So I was definitely very clear about avoiding those conversations.
Yeah.
But here we
are.
Well,
props to you for being in that state of mind and still like keeping that privacy, because there have been many a times I'm just like, oh, I shouldn't have shared that. Just like so that good on you. But I guess it's a good reminder. You have these cameras in your face, you have the producers there. So do you plan on continuing to watch Married at First Sight now that you've experienced it?
Probably not.
Oh.
It was kind of like me and my mom's thing, so I'm kind of sad about it, because like we watched it, but I just know too much.
Yeah.
I know
too much.
behind
the scenes. You've seen the seams of it all.
Yeah. And it's just kind of like, I haven't really been able to watch reality TV the same because I know too much. Like, when I'm watching like all the confessionals that are happening like while the season is playing, and to know that it's literally already happened and it's not in the moment. Like, it's like, hey, like, because I know what I had, you get what I'm saying? So it's just like, I just can't watch it the same. So I don't know that I will watch it, and I say that, and watch me as soon as the season.
Yeah.
But I don't think I will off top. I'm in all the groups, so when I see everybody talking about it, I'm probably gonna be wondering, let me go watch this episode, but I don't think I will.
How is the like alumni association with MAFS work? Like, when you're on the show, do you get messages from all the other MAFS participants in past seasons? Maybe even have you hooked up with any season 17 participants that have looked you up yet?
I have not talked to any of the season 17 people. I have no clue about them, but I have had a few conversations with previous people. I'm trying to think. Justin, I've talked to Justin. Stasha, talked to Stasha. I've had a brief conversation.
Mark the Shark hasn't slid into your DMs, has he? I hear that's a popular person to slide into DMs.
No, he is not. I've had a few sentence conversation with Katina. Who else? I've talked to Nate. And actually, Nate just literally DM'd me like, "How are you holding up? Like, how's it going?" Like, it was actually a genuine little like check-in.
Yeah.
From him. I don't think anyone else has reached out, but like I'm like friends, and we follow each other, like Alexis and Jasmina. We follow each other. What is the couple that's still together? Her and her husband was on Couples Couch.
We don't have too many of those.
Yeah, Deanna and Greg.
No.
Jeff D and Shanice.
It's not a black couple.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, we're like going.
Jessica and Austin.
What we were doing at all.
Anthony. Is it Anthony?
Oh, Anthony and Ashley.
Okay, and Ashley.
Double A's.
I'm like, y'all, I think it's so funny. Y'all start naming black. I'm like, it's not black.
Well, you named all the black people. We were like, okay, the Black MAFS alumni network is strong. We see that.
Naming all the black people. Dang, I was. Okay.
So we had to go with that first assumption.
My bad. Okay, I get it. My bad. Okay, yeah.
But with you in your cast, season 16, how are things today amongst you guys?
We're all good. Like, Nicole and Chris hosted every Wednesday night of the premiere, like of the show. So they would always everybody would always go to their house to watch the show. Obviously, I was always at work, but I would always get a FaceTime. Like early when the season first aired, they would FaceTime me, and Eris would be on the screen with a shot going, "I'm sorry." And
no, would there be some days he'd be like, "Don't show me Eris's face. I don't want to see him right now. This is not the episode for that." Were there ever any episodes you were like, "All right, I know I'm not going to watch that episode because I know what's probably coming up on that episode."
Mm-hmm.
And were you like in the real time? You're like, I don't really want to talk to Eris this week a lot,
Yeah,
like because I know what's coming.
There were a lot of weeks. There were a lot.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be like, don't even send the apology text this week. Don't do it.
Yeah.
But I mean, everybody else, you're cool with everyone. You and Mac had a little tension at the reunion where he was kind of kicking up for Eris,
piggybacking off Eris. He beat his little cheerleader, and it wasn't warranted.
Yeah, I mean, I know he's out of state, but you don't have any bad blood.
No, we don't have any bad blood. But he literally wished me happy birthday. Like he sent me a text and told me happy birthday. So like, yeah, me and Mac are cool. I just don't know him, to be honest. Like I didn't really get to know him.
Listen, yeah, that makes sense. You spent like a couple days near each other.
So So yeah, I didn't really get to know him, and then for me not to really get to know him and know like that him and Eris had gotten close, and then on the reunion you want to try to have his back. Yeah, I wasn't checking for that. Yeah. So it was just kind of one of those things. But yeah, everybody's really good. Dutch. Let's see. Gina, she's thriving in her business, and that's like my girl. We clicked from jump. Me and Gina clicked. Like I said, I didn't really talk to anybody during filming. Like I was the person that was to myself, mainly because I was focused on trying to figure out whatever marriage that I had, what it was doing. And I didn't come on the show to make friends. Mm-hmm. So that was not a top priority for me. I feel like all the guys immediately had like their little bromance, and they were always trying to get together. And I'm just like, what are y'all doing? Like,
but it seems like you and Kirsten really clicked together. I mean, are we going to get the Black Queens Express, as I termed it?
Listen,
party bus.
So we are not doing a party bus. It was cute when it was cute. The whole thing with the party bus is every January they give so many permits or whatever, and they only give a certain amount of numbers. And so if you don't get approved for a permit, no matter what, you can go buy a bus, you can have it ready, but you can't legally use it in Nashville. So we didn't get a permit. So that's gone. And that's it.
Well, I think, and what about Shaq? Are y'all still good friends?
Oh my gosh. I love me some Shaq. Like I said, when I went to Houston for my friend's getting married, and we did her bachelorette in Houston, and he's in Austin. So he drove down to Houston. He took me out. We had a good time. Everybody was, obviously recognized us. So we were taking pictures. We had a good old time. We even went live that day on our Instagrams. And but I love Shaq. Like,
what were the four of you, the four Black contestants, you, Eris, Shaq, and Kirsten? There was a lot of talk throughout the season of like, let's mismatch these couples, Jasmine and Shaq, Eris and Kirsten. I think they even tried to troll us a little bit on the show when you and Shaq had that like one-on-one in the whatever you guys did, the stupid Nerf arrow thing. How did you guys feel about that in the moment? Did you guys see those talks happening throughout the fandom of like, get these four together?
Like, in the moment, it never crossed, like filming that never crossed our mind. Like when we had that scene together, we were just like, bruh, your girl ain't attracted to you, my guy ain't attracted to me. We just gotta lean on each other. That was like the extent of the conversation. Let's speak life into each other so we can get a little pick me up, so we can continue these weeks on. But when it started to air and everybody was like, Jasmine should have been matched with Shaq and Kirsten should have been matched with Eris, I was like, y'all just doing too much. Like,
well, that was really nice of Shaq to drive down, because that's like a 2.5 hour drive. So that's not just a hop skip. Yeah, it's not like a hop skip away.
Jasmine, Aysha knows all the Texas geography. Don't get her started on how long it takes to get from here to there in Texas. Don't get her started on that, please.
He also has friends and stuff in Austin as well. So I mean in Houston. Sorry.
Okay, gotcha.
Houston as well. So he was coming down too for that, and I just happened to be there. So
yeah. Okay, gotcha.
We
that
kicked
makes sense.
it.
Aysha about to start talking about the highways Shaq took and how long.
Like, did he take I-10? No, I'm kidding.
Like the Californians on SNL.
Yeah. But okay, so that's one thing we did talk about a lot is like y'all season got along pretty well. That's why it was like once the relationships weren't working out, like mid-season, we knew like, okay, these couples probably aren't gonna make it. Then it was like, well, dang, we don't even have no beef between any people because y'all got along so well.
Yeah.
So it's good to know y'all maintain those relationships. So last but not least, we want to do a quick word association game. So we're gonna bounce back and forth. We're gonna name people from the cast and just give us one word, the first word that comes to mind. So Dom.
Who?
Dom is a go-getter.
Okay, that's good. So Mac.
Mac.
Oh.
That's perfect.
Okay. Yeah.
Gina.
Boss. She is a boss.
Clint, of course.
Clint, he's lovable.
Well, a golden retriever energy. Okay, Kirsten.
Motivational.
Good. Shaq.
Shaq. He's like a best friend.
Okay.
Nicole.
Best friend energy. Nicole is like Mama Bear.
Okay, and of course Chris.
Chris is Daddy Bear.
I was gonna say Papa Bear.
They get Mama
Yeah, I mean
Daddy.
you didn't mention Nicole and Chris. I'm assuming they're doing great and doing fine.
Oh.
They seem like they're going to be together forever.
Yeah, they're gonna be together forever. They're thriving. They're doing great.
They're locked in.
Yeah, they are locked. They are locked in.
Yeah.
And I mean, last but not least, of course, Eris.
I didn't realize y'all didn't even say him. Aries, I don't even know. I got nothing. Aries is.
Listen, say nothing might say everything.
A work in progress.
Oh,
There
okay.
we go.
That's perfect. That's
A
perfect.
work in progress.
That's perfect.
I like that. Well, this has been incredible. Thank you so much for
So much
coming
I'm
fun.
happy
on.
y'all had me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. We couldn't not. Like the moment we saw you in the Facebook group, we started talking about like we have to try to interview her after this season.
Yes.
Knows who we are?
Right.
Yes, I know who y'all are.
Listen,
I do
listen.
love the fact that I can say, like, y'all are probably one of the few reviewers that keep it tasteful. Like, you have your opinions and like it's very clear on like your stance, but y'all never get like out of pocket. And that's probably why I love watching you guys, because it's always like they gonna say how they feel and we gonna know, but it's never like disrespectful or not tasteful. So I do appreciate that about you guys.
Do you and the other cast members ever talk about, like how we did on our week? Like, did you see what Jason Asia said about you this week? Like,
No.
how often does that happen? Like, you can tell us true.
Every Wednesday.
No, I don't know if the other, I don't know, maybe Nicole might watch y'all, but I know everybody else is really big on not watching like reviewers, but me and Nicole, we be on all of them.
Yeah.
I'm like, Nicole, girl, did you hear? She's like, yeah. She's like, did you watch such and such this week? I was like, I haven't watched it this week, but when I do, I'm gonna let you know. Like me and Nicole
that's
were
funny.
more so the ones that watch the reviews.
Listen, give Nicole our number. We'd be happy to talk to her if she
I'm
wants.
gonna
We're gonna put that ball in her court.
Right. But I'm so impressed with Duchess laying there this whole time.
Girl, she acts like she worked a 12-hour shift. Laid out. She literally acts like she works a job.
There is no way I could get pepper or cinnamon to lay that long. Like I can get a good 15 minutes out of them, but not.
Don't get me wrong,
minutes.
she's been like pawing at me and like show me attention, but she's very chill. She's very chill.
She's so cute. So where can people keep up with you if they want to follow you?
On Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Threads. It's all the same _ all that jazz with 3 Z's.
Nice.
Awesome. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I keep it simple.
Yeah. Yes.
All of them
Thank
are
you.
the same. And then Jasmine Secrest on Facebook. No
Nice.
A.
Gotcha.
Awesome.
Not like
So,
the
yeah.
Ryan Secrest.
Not
Just,
like Ryan Secrest.
yeah.
We not really.
You had to say that a lot, I'm sure.
Yeah, Jason, I'm sure that was real original. Well, Jason, where can people follow you? What are you up to?
On the Twitter, you can follow me at JAYR1085. Podcast wise, I'm doing a couple of shows over on Post Show Recaps. Finishing up Hijack this week, doing Winning Time over on Post Show Recaps. Also covering the show Lioness on Post Show Recaps. So you can follow me and check out my podcast there. Asia, what are you up to?
Yeah, y'all can follow me everywhere at Aysha like Asia. That's AYSHA like ASIA. I know that it's been announced that Love is Blind is coming soon and The Ultimatum is coming soon. So keep a lookout for that this not fall, autumn. And then also we are in the midst of Big Brother 25. So keep a lookout for me as I podcast throughout the season. So it's been a very good season so far. I know we've only had one episode, but the feeds have been fire. So if you want to keep up with me, definitely just go follow me on what was formerly known as Twitter. But yes, thank you so much, Jasmine, for being here. This is wonderful.
You have by far and away been our best postseason interview ever.
Ever. And everybody, make sure you go subscribe to our feed, the Love at First Sight feed, wherever you get your podcasts, and subscribe to the Rob Has a Podcast YouTube channel where you could watch this podcast. If let's say if you listen to it, you could watch the video version. So thank you so much, y'all, for sticking with us, and we'll be back whenever season 17 is announced. Bye. Yeah.